Welcome back, Money Circle fam. Hope you guys are having another awesome day. And you know what? I just realized we haven't come back to you with an update on the challenge from $5 to $1,000 as quick as we possibly can, because we've been locked up in that godforsaken Arrow IPO for the past month. But please believe that the IPO happened on top of some other things that have totally changed the game for our entire portfolio, and I want to update you with that now. So if you haven't been a part of this journey, right now we're going from $5 in the stock market to $1,000 as quick as we possibly can. I started this about 6 months ago, and the volatility in the stock market has been crazy. I've been talking about that, how between the Trump tariffs, now we have the war going on with Israel and Iran. A lot of uncertainty going on, so this challenge has been very difficult, but sometimes it takes just a little bit of luck to completely change your portfolio, and that's what we're going to talk about today, is that luck that completely changed the game and put us back on track for this challenge. But before I give you this update, make sure you smash that subscribe button if you're somebody who likes talking about investing, likes building wealth for themselves, but also likes learning different financial principles along the way, because that's what I do on this page. So I love bringing finance content to you and just kind of sharing my journey. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you smash that subscribe button. But let's talk about this big break that I just got. So where we left off on the last video was I mentioned to you I had a position locked up in the Arrow IPO. Now Arrow is a drone company, and they were set to IPO back in April, but because of the tariffs and the volatility in the stock market, they decided to hold off on that IPO. Now, at that time, I had already put my order in to be a part of the initial public offering. That way, I could take a quick profit from the IPO and then be able to sell off to get as much of a benefit as I can for the challenge. Now, because of the tariffs, it kept money locked up until recently. So I put my order in April, but what they do is they actually hold the money until they set a final price. Once they set the final price, then any money you have left over in your brokerage account, you can invest in other things. So at that point in time, I had about $26 locked up, and then an additional $7 that I was able to deploy. So it was around $33 or so that I had that I was able to use, but I was just holding off until Arrow IPO. Now, what I didn't know is that Arrow pushed off their IPO from April until literally 2 weeks ago. So it was about a month and a half that I had this money locked up. So obviously, timing-wise, this didn't help the challenge at all. But something big happened that not only helped Arrow, but helped us on the challenge. Now I'm on Robinhood. That's what I'm trading on for this challenge. And Robinhood lets you know when a company is going to be IPO, so you can put your orders in before it does go public. So I got a notification 3 weeks ago that another company was set to go public, and I had the opportunity to put an order in. And that company is one that is right up my alley, right in my area of expertise. I know a lot about this company, and I know the potential of this company. So when I heard about the IPO, I was in. It took no convincing at all, and I knew I had to be a part of this IPO. And that IPO was for Circle. If you don't know about Circle, Circle is a decentralized finance platform. They are also part owners of Cash App as well, and they're really leading the, I don't want to say entire industry, but they're big players in the DeFi industry. And with deregulation going on in banking right now, this IPO was set to absolutely explode. So I knew when it was announced on Robinhood, I had to be a part of it, and boy, did it change the game for our challenge. So keep in mind, we were about 4 to 5 months into this thing, and I have been contributing every month an additional $5. So you can see that we haven't gained much profit at all. Matter of fact, we started with $5 at the end of January, and we are now before these trades hit, we were in the middle portion of April, and we're only at about $33 or so. So we really hadn't gained much in the portfolio up until that point, but I've been trying different strategies like day trading and playing high volatility stocks. And this is a trading strategy that I'm not used to. So this challenge has really pushed me outside my comfort zone. So when I got involved in this IPO for Circle, this was back to basics. Back to what I knew, what I was comfortable with, and more importantly, an opportunity that I couldn't miss. So I got involved in the Circle IPO. Now the Circle IPO was $30. So I had to put in just a little bit extra money because at that time we had about $33 locked up that we could use. But remember, 19 of it was locked up in the Arrow IPO. So I had to put in just a little bit extra money to get involved in the Circle IPO. All said, I'm in about an extra $7 and some odd cents because I needed to get up to $40. And I'll explain why I had to get the portfolio up to $40 liquid in order to participate in both of these, Arrow and Circle IPO. So I got my order in for one share of Circle IPO, and it started at $30 a share. And I want you to just take a look at this real quick. How about 600+% return on investment? We turned a $30 stock investment into $245 in less than 1 month. This is the potential of getting invested into an IPO. Now, not all IPOs work like this. Keep that in mind. But when the right ones come around and you're able to invest in them, even small amounts, things like this can happen. So we just got a 600% return on investment in less than a month. Now, here's what's cool. We're not even done. I'm going to cut away for a second and get back to you because if you thought the news was over, it ain't over. So the Circle IPO happens, and we take a $30 or initial investment and turn it into $245. Then 2 days later, Arrow decides now's the time. If Circle's going to IPO, we're going to ride the IPO coattails as well. Let's go ahead and announce ours. Now the cool part was when I made the last video, I told you guys I was locked in at $19 per share for Arrow. Well, they hadn't put the final price on there. That was an estimate of what they thought it was going to open up at. That's not what it opened up at. What it opened up at was $10 a share. So as I mentioned, I had to put a little bit of extra money into the account, about $7.60 some odd cents. Actually, it was like $7.28 or something like that. But either way, I had to get the portfolio up to $40 because I had the $30 IPO that I was putting in for Circle, and now I got news that Arrow is also going IPO. But Arrow final price was $10 a share. $10 a share. So all in all, with both IPOs, I was in $40, which is totally on pace with where we were at, given that I had to put $5 into the account anyways, because it was the start of a new month in May and then essentially June. So Arrow IPO'd a couple of days after Circle did. And Arrow, again, opened up at $10, and it's sitting at a little bit better than $22 a share. So right now, we were able to take a $40 investment and in 1 month turn it into $267 and a little bit of change there. So I want you guys to think about this. This is the power of just starting in investing, just starting. We're only putting $5 a month into the stock market, and this has turned into a 600% return on investment in 6 months. This is outpacing the S&P 500. This is outpacing stocks like Apple, stocks like Nvidia, stocks like Facebook, stocks like Microsoft, stocks like Tesla. This is the power of doing it. But the point is you have to put that fear aside and you have to just follow what you're comfortable with. And that's what I've taken out of this challenge since it started is, as I mentioned, I was doing day trading. I was playing high volatility stocks. I was doing things I wasn't used to doing. And because of that, we kept taking losses. But since I've taken a step back and I've stopped obsessing so much about catching trades and just going back to basics, we've now turned our $40 investment into $267 in a matter of 5 months. That's insane. And I can't wait to the point where we get to 1,000 because that's rapidly approaching. Now, as it sits right now, what's my strategy moving forward? Let's get into that. So my strategy moving forward is not to complicate the process. What this challenge has taught me is I've had success trading with my style. I do research on companies. I know what companies are industry leaders, and I feel comfortable based on all the information I've gathered that this stock is a winner. So what I've learned more than anything throughout this challenge is stick to what you know. If you're not somebody who is a day trader, don't day trade. If you're not somebody who likes to play high volatility stocks, don't play those. If you're somebody who likes to invest in safe stocks and just put your money into there, do that. But don't go against what you know. I have close to 10 years stock trading experience, and I built up my own style that's worked for me, that's helped me get the gains that I've been able to get in my portfolio. And I don't complicate any of my stock picks. I go back to basics any single time I'm investing into any stock that I eventually put money into. Because for me, I want to have that conviction that no matter how much money I'm putting in, whether it's $5 or $10,000, that I know this is going to turn a profit for me. I just have to be patient. And what I've learned more than anything in this is when we initially started, we wanted to hit $1,000 in 6 months. With my trading style, that hasn't been possible, which is okay because I'm still going to hit my goal. It's just going to take me a little bit longer than I initially expected. And if I continue to play that style, I'm going to outpace investments like the S&P 500, investments like Palantir, investments like Nvidia, investments like Apple. I'm going to do that. I just have to stick to basics and not overcomplicate it and be patient with the process. And that's what I've learned throughout this. So where we stand right now as an update in the challenge is we are currently at $267 and some change, and we are a quarter of the way there in just under 6 months. So at this point, do I think we can get to $1,000 in a year or $1,000 in a year? I do believe that, but again, I'm not going to complicate this process. I'm going to get back to basics and just stick to what I know. So with that being said, I'm going to keep you guys updated. I do want to thank you for all the support that this series has gotten so far. This has been a lot of fun, and I've learned quite a bit, and I hope you have too. And if this is content that you enjoy and you like learning my strategies, but also you like getting some knowledge on the things that I look for, and I mean living your investment life vicariously through the stupid decisions that I make sometimes, then this is definitely the channel for you. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. Other than that, I want to thank you guys for all the support. Peace.